Hey everybody, and welcome back. Alright, it is Monday morning, a new week. The snow went over the weekend and then it came back Sunday night, so it's white outside again. Alright, so we're going to carry on with this. I had a very disappointing end to the weekend, thanks to one of our viewers. I'll actually thank you to him for being so eagle-eyed. Of course, as you expect, I can't remember his name, but I'm sort of all set, you know, Sunday night rather, just looking at a few comments that came in, and one of them pointed out that it looked to him like the hub was out of the Heritage Special model of Yam 650, and I sort of thought to myself, that mildly rings a bell from the advert. What also I'd noticed when I was bead blasting it was I thought, oh, there's a lot of holes in this. Well, as he pointed out, the Heritage one has a special hub. It's got, what did he say, 64 spokes? So to make the wheel look really snazzy, they put all these spokes in, and they look to be in pairs of 4. So instead of, you know, a couple of spokes crossing like that, they have sort of 4 of them crossing. So I thought, oh God, never. Because he sort of said, you know, it's got like 64 spokes. Have you just ordered an ordinary drilled rim with 36 holes? So I almost just stomped off down to the workshop to have a look, and then I thought, wait a minute. I went to eBay and pulled up my purchase history, and there was, of course, the photograph of the wheel I'd bought, and yeah, it has 1,000,000 spokes. Lorry. So that hub was just a waste of money. Fortunately, buying it as a bundle, the hub itself, I mean, the reason I bought that one was it was so cheap. The wheel had a bad rim and rusty spokes, so as you may remember the story, I got in touch with the guy to just send me the hub, and then as we talked, I got the wheel spindle and the speedometer drive and the caliper, and so the hub in itself didn't cost me a lot, but you know I don't like spending money. And of course, when I went back on eBay, there weren't any cheap wheels. Funnily enough, there were a couple of cheap wheels, and both of them were 1972 models. And the 1972 models, the disc doesn't bolt on with 6 bolts. On the back of the disc, there are 2 big nubs, and in the hub, there are 2 sockets, and the disc locates in them, and that's what's. So neither of those wheels were any good to me. So anyway, I found another wheel. I got in touch with the fella. I just got a message back from him. Sent me a message last night, and he's just going to send me the hub. So more cost, but that really annoyed me. Anyway, so obviously I was planning to build the wheel tomorrow. I won't be doing that, will I? It might be a week before the blooming rim comes. So, as I very first mentioned years ago when I asked if you wanted weekly videos, we'll get what we get this week, and that's it. So it's funny actually that the wheel should be 1972. 1972, I was 21, just got married, and I had a Royal Enfield Constellation, and down in Middlesbrough there was a bike shop called Matt Newton's, bicycles as well actually. And always was on a corner, there's a long line of used bikes for sale and a bunch inside. And he had a Norton Commando Interstate. You remember them, with a larger tank, all black, gold lining, beautiful bike. And it was £650. So I thought, I'm going to buy that. I'll put my Constellation in Part X. So I trundled down to buy it, and he'd sold it. So of course there I was, all keyed up to buy a bike. I'd already made arrangements to Part X the Enfield. They gave me £50 for it, sight unseen. They didn't even want to come and look at it. We'll give you £50. So what they did have in there was a brand spanky new 1972 Yamaha XS2, which had disc brake on the front, drum brake on the back. And I looked at it, it was a 650 vertical twin, overhead cam, electric start, 12 volt electrics, disc brake on the front, indicators, for exactly the same price as the Commando was going to be. So I bought it. And then, what, a year later, 18 months later, on the way to night shift, on this fast curve, I got into a tank slapper. We parted company. I broke this wrist. It was like 2 right angled bends. Really bad condition. Another smaller lorry. So I know the 72 Yamahas. Anyway, that is by the by, just a little bit of my bio. The worst part about it was I was on my way to night shift. So when I got taken to hospital, the doctor, of course, was going to give me, you know, injections and everything, and he said, when was the last time you ate? And I just had a meal because I was going out on night shift. So I had to wait before they could give me any injections. And once the shock wore off, it was really painful. Alright, so let me cut some alloy and drill some holes, and we'll start making this mounting plate for the speedo and the switches. Alright? Right, so there's the alloy cut. I managed to get all the holes in the right places. The only minor problem, let me take you around the other side. Didn't take that into account. They're not touching each other. You can switch the lights on. They don't foul each other. Actually, that goes up there a little bit. So you can get at them both. Even when you pull that out to do that. I don't know if you can see the numbers moving. But that's mildly annoying. It's a bit close to that as well. Anyway, I've also had a thought. I'm going to move you again. I was thinking a collar around that might look a little silly. And then I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. Instead of the little rubber doodad, hang on, that which goes on underneath, because it's a bit ratty, it's basically a 1/4 inch. I'll get some 1/4 inch rubber and I'll just cut sort of, if you like, a rubber washer with the necessary holes in it to just go under that. So that'll sit on, so you'll just see a black rubber thing there. I think that'll look good. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut a strip which will be, get my ruler, coming back round, which will be 3/4 of an inch. Actually, maybe an inch. Yeah, there's an inch space there. There's an inch there. Obviously there should be an inch on the other side. There's an inch there. Yeah. That'll go right round. That'll do 2 things. It'll make this look, well, do 3 things. Sounding like the Spanish Inquisition, aren't they? It will hide the switches and their wires. It will allow me to sort of tuck the other wires up under there. I'll make a little sort of hook thing or whatever that, and put a couple of cable ties on, because don't forget the wires all used to go in the binnacle. And thirdly, of course, it will really make this, I mean this plate's 1/8 inch, but it will really make that stiff. It'll be structural to it. Go right round. And I think that then will look absolutely fine. Alright, so let me go and cut a strip and anneal it, and then we'll see about welding it on. Alright, there's the top plate. There is our 1-inch strip. All the way, so to find out how long it was, I could have showed you this I suppose. I just marked that, rolled it all the way around, and then marked when I got to there. That was 18 inches, so that's marked at 9 inches. We'll mark the centre here. It's been annealed. I'll mark the centre, and then we'll start. I'll bend it round till it's, you know, really close. It's going to have some spring in it. Then we'll tack it and hold it and tack it, and then we'll weld it all the way around. So let me set to and do that. There it is, all welded up and hot. So I'll let it cool down, and then we'll shape this edge nicely and try it on the bike. So there it is. The edge is all sanded down. I gave it a quick polish. I think that came out rather nicely. So let me go and bolt it on the bike, put everything back on, well, say the bike, the frame, and we'll see how it all looks. There it is. I think that looks quite smart. All the wires will hide about the way. I had to shape it slightly here. Couldn't go straight down. But doesn't look bad. Hold on, I'll show you it from the front. There. I've put the speedo cable on as well, and it is clear of the headlight. So that works well. So what I'll do next is take this all apart. I'll finish up this welding here and get that all, what's the word again, linished. And I'll bead blast the yokes, and we'll get the yokes and the back, the frame part of the headlamp mounts all redone in red. So they'll be just ready to go straight on. And been thinking about how to do the front mudguard. Hold on, I'm going to move you. Now I'm not going to use these mudguard stays because of course they fit perfectly on these forks, and when I go to use these in a trials bike I might as well have them. So what I'm going to do is make up some new mudguard stays, but I think what I shall do, because it's, I have my limitations, so I'm always trying to think of an easier way to do things. So what I'm going to do is make up about a 1-inch strip which will go inside the mudguard, get bolted on like that with a single, well, yeah, because I don't want to have to repaint this. So I could weld them on, but I'll put a bolt on so that they come down a little bit, a la, well, lots of British bikes. And then I can virtually make up some straight mudguard stays that will go from there down to where the mounts are on the Yam 650 forks. Alright. Right, well, I have painted the yokes. They're in the paint room, drying, and seeing as they were red, I did the BSA tank. I managed to save that. So, of course, we've already got the outer races for the bearings in ready. That's why I was saying I can just, as soon as those yokes are finished, I can just slap them straight on, put the forks and everything in, and we're done. I didn't have to mess around trying to make things for here. But then earlier today, I suddenly thought to myself, oh damn, the handlebar cylinder for the front brake is off a trials bike. There's no brake light on it. So I thought, oh, I'm going to have to take the tank and the saddle off and add some wiring in and stuff. But then of course when I couldn't take it off, I remembered then that I actually put the banjo bolt with the switch in it, because of course I was planning this to be on the road, so that was fine. Unfortunately, or only minor unfortunately, the thread of this is different to the thread in the other master cylinder I'm going to use. So, but luckily, see here, I didn't sort of hardwire it in, so all I've got to do is make up a little bit of harness to plug into there and we're done. So tomorrow, say tomorrow afternoon, give it a good 24 hours or so to cure, I'll put these yokes in. Can't put the forks in because the fork seals haven't arrived yet, and of course today, I'm always doing this, it's so annoying, not forward thinking. I thought, oh, while I'm waiting I'll clean up the caliper, and then I thought, caliper, I've ordered fork seals and everything, and I've ordered new disc pads. I never thought about a caliper rebuild kit. And also when I got the piston out, the piston had a bad bit of pitting on it. So, and the people I get these off are all the way down in Florida, which makes it 3 or 4 days. So anyway, I hope I don't think of anything else. I've ordered a new piston and a rebuild kit, the various seals for the caliper. So I'm hoping that's everything. So the next thing to look at is the what is it? The mudguard. Why do I keep forgetting mudguard? Right, so I've got the yokes in, and as you can see over here to your left, that came out all right, the red for that tank. So I've put those wires in. Now then, I had to find the wiring diagram I'd drawn because I couldn't remember. I was looking at the wires and I thought, oh God, I don't remember where all these go. So there's those. And this one. I wanted to fiddle on and get all these through before I put the, hang on, where's that yellow one? Before I put the headlamp mounting on. And then goes in there. And that goes in there. Alright, let me tighten those handlebar clamps down. Actually, I can put the handlebars on. And then we'll see about headlamp mount and some wires. Right, there's them on, handlebars on. Of course, first of all, I got the handlebars on with this on, and then I realised I hadn't put the metal disc things underneath there, so they had to come off. Then I put them back on and tightened them all up, and then I found that this yellow wire here had got itself trapped underneath the thing. So not only was it trapped, but when I untrapped it, it had squished it and broken the connection. So anyway, we've done that. Right, UPS man has been. Here's my rubber pad that we're going to cut to fit underneath the speedometer. I got the medium soft grade. So what I'm going to do to make it easy to work on, so I'm going to lay some of the green masking tape on, and then I can use a pair of compasses to mark out my just over 3-inch circle. Oh, see, I can mark it easily. Find the centre, punch out that, and then start to put the other holes in. Alright, so there's its rubber cover. I've got to cut another hole here for the light. The thing is, the way this was designed to go on, these pins just have holes drilled in them, and it was supposed to squish down and then a split pin go in. And I much preferred if they'd have been threaded. I think they're about 5mm. I wonder if I can thread them. Put 5mm nuts on, and then I could really squash it down, see. Be much better. Much betterer. Let me look into that. Well, I don't know what they made those pins out of. I know they're chromed, but my God, they're hard. I couldn't get a die on to thread them. So, I don't know. I can get another washer under that. But that's on. So I thought I'd put, there's the much nicer master cylinder than this thing. And guess what? I don't know why, but it's for a 1-inch handlebar. So I'm going to have to make a sleeve up. But it's coming up to 5 o'clock. So I'll pop out on Saturday for a couple of hours. We'll make a sleeve up for that. Connect these wires up. I've got a red wire that's pulled off somewhere, look, under the tank, just to be awkward. I've got a feeling it's the power up from the electronic. So everything else is fine. I put that on, put the speedometer on, and then we'll see about doing that. Alright, so until Saturday, we just have an easy Friday. Alright, it is Saturday morning, so let's see if we can do a bit to make this video a little longer. Alright, because as you know, I've screwed up several times on ordering things, so we're in wait mode on a couple of things. Okay, I have made a split sleeve 7/8 ID 1-inch OD in order to put, can I get around there? Those 2 bolts there, in order to put that on. It was nice and easy to make because I had a 7/8" drill, so I didn't have to mess about. You know, these aren't critical measurements. Am I getting in your way? This thing might only be 15/16. Oh no, it's tight. Now this obviously is shaping up to be a 3 video project, which is ridiculous. I'm being a bit cack-handed here. Come on. As I said, so there's going to be a bit more this week to do. Well, actually, you know, thinking of you, this being Sunday and you seeing this. So what I'm going to do, because the snow has melted, is no, I'm not sure where I can put this above that. Yes, it goes nicely above that, looks fine. I don't think I'd like it all the way underneath, hanging down, it looks a bit strange. Nope, that's great. Okay, so let me tighten all this up and then we're going to look at the headlight. Well, here's why I decided not to do any more road bikes. I've been up for about half an hour trying to route these wires because the yokes are slightly different shapes and things like that, and I still can't get them. I thought I had them all done, then when I turned the steering it pulled on one side, so then I thought, well, can I put them through here? But it doesn't look as if they're long enough to go through there. Man, you might be not going to see a lot this week. Alright, there it is, all back together. I've just realised I haven't put the speedo cable on, so I don't think I can get my fingers in there to tighten it up. I'll have to take the headlamp back off. Well, I was planning to put the forks in temporarily and look at the mudguard and all sorts of things today, but that wiring was just minor differences in where things are on these yokes. Really weird. Anyway, it's all together. I think that looks pretty good. And this is fine. Doesn't match up completely with the lever on the other side, but then I bought these as a pair. I must have another lever, so I'll search for them. I made up a cable to go from the brake switch on here into the two wires on there. I was going to start it to make sure everything worked, but it sort of without the forks in, it slides around on the jack stand I've got it on, the wind-up stand. So the last thing I want is, and I'm sort of pushing backwards with the Kickstarter, is for it to fall off there and, you know, things get ruined. I've got a red wire which is power, and I don't know where the devil it should be or where it goes to. I knew I was going to have one spare red wire because there was power that I had to take to that GPS speedo, but for some reason I have two. Anyway, as I say, we're going to have to go into a third week, but what I do is what you get to see. So today's Saturday. Tomorrow afternoon, I think I'm going to pop out, because it's supposed to be sunny and about 40 plus degrees. I'm going to get the tank put on the new BSA, and we'll maybe take it out for a quick ride. So next week will probably be a shortish video on this. All I've really got to do is the mudguard, and then you'll get a second video which will be a shortish one of me riding the BSA, hopefully. So until then, you know what to do. Stay safe and enjoy yourselves. Oh, before I go, oh God no, I've forgotten your name already. Hang on, it's in my phone. One of our viewers from around the Philadelphia area got in touch with me and very, very kindly said he wanted to give me a bike as sort of a thank you for all the videos. And I don't love that page. Bob Prizer, and he had a very nice Ossa 6-day. Well, as you know, I don't like two strokes, but it wasn't really something I would want to have. So I managed to put him on to somebody up here who was been looking for an Ossa apparently for years, from what I'm told. Never sort of managed to get one. So I want to thank Bob very much for his really generous offer. He wanted the bike to go to a good home, so the chap that's got it is really pleased. I got a text from Bob to say it seems as if the chap is just the right person to get it, so we're all happy. But again, Bob, thank you very much. That really was a very generous gesture. All right, so now you can go off and enjoy yourselves.